CM Punk was backstage at WWE Raw and apparently met with Triple H. This according to a PW Insider report. We've got a lot to talk about now, don't we? Guys, if you're just joining us, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. CM Punk backstage at Raw, and again, there's a lot still unknown about this situation as a whole. I will talk about what we know and what we can confirm as far as what we're hearing. First indication came from PW Insider that AEW superstar CM Punk was backstage for a bit at tonight's WWE Raw in Chicago, where CM Punk, of course, lives, is from. Apparently, he got a chance to briefly speak with Paul Levesque, Triple H, before he was asked to leave by Vince McMahon, who, again, isn't there in person, but apparently is running things from a remote location somewhere. But that's besides the point. Punk being backstage at Raw, what does this mean? This coming at a time where many people reported that he was in fact going to be in Chicago June 17th for this big show that AEW's already booked for the United Center. Yet here we are, and Punk talking with WWE? Question mark. Here's what I will say, right? Again, a lot is still unknown about the situation, but it's not uncommon for people to be backstage at companies they don't work for. This happens all the time. Bayley was backstage at the New Japan show in the San Francisco area a few weeks ago to watch Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks, wrestle. We've seen Ricky Starks backstage at WWE events, most notably the Royal Rumble, to support Cody Rhodes. We've seen -1 and Amanda Huber, who is an AEW employee, on WWE TV ringside at WrestleMania to watch Cody Rhodes. It happens the other way around. People like Adam Cole, when he worked with WWE, used to come to AEW shows backstage all the time. So it happens, and it usually is like, these people have connections, they're friends, they're very close family members sometimes. Of course, you're going to be able to go backstage and support your family and support your friends. That's fine. But this is different, and here's what I will say. This is not to say that CM Punk doesn't have friends in WWE. Of course he does. He wrestled there for nearly a decade. Of course he has friends. Of course he has relationships with these people. And it's not out of the realm possibility that he would want to go and see those people while they're in his hometown. What makes this different, though, is, number one, this is the first instance, I should say, we've seen of CM Punk being in a backstage location, pardon the pun, because he did co-host a show called WWE Backstage, but that was more of a Fox deal. But this is the first time we've heard about him being backstage at a WWE show like this. And what makes it even crazier is the fact that we have this report that not only is he backstage, and not only there's this video apparently going around of him and Tamina in the parking lot, but not only is that the case, but he met with Triple H, the guy who he buried in that now infamous Art of Wrestling Colt Cabana podcast, the guy he's railed against, the guy who he said multiple times didn't want him to succeed. That is crazy. That is crazy. And again, the most likely scenario here is that Punk was just backstage. He was in Chicago. He's like, I might as well go see my old friends, see if we can maybe, who knows? Maybe he's thinking about his next contract. Maybe he's like, hey, got to leave the door open for a return to WWE just in case. Maybe that's it. Maybe there's something else going on that we haven't picked up on and no one in the wrestling media has picked up on. No one in wrestling journalism has picked up on as of yet. But to say that this is not a newsworthy story to me, to say that this is not a story worth talking about when you have a guy who has the history with WWE that CM Punk has under these circumstances, a history with a guy like Triple H, of course this is newsworthy, and of course we should talk about it. Now, is CM Punk going back to WWE? Only time will tell. I like to believe that this is a case of Punk just going to see friends or whatever, but you never know. And that's the interesting thing about Punk, right? He's a guy who, no matter what he does, no matter where he goes, no matter what he's doing, you're captivated by it. He's got a way about him. He's got this aura about him. He is a star in every sense of the word. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to you. CM Punk is a star. That's why when he talks, we listen. That's why when he does things like the Gripe Bomb, we all pay attention because he's got that captivating presence about him. It's just the way things are, and this is no different, right? Like all the drama that's preceded him in WWE, all the drama that's preceded him in AEW, and we think he's on the cusp of a return to AEW, and yet here he is in WWE backstage for the first time, allegedly the first time ever, right? Since he left in 2014 that we know of. Like, this is big. This is big. Look, we're obviously going to stay on top of it. I know FightfulSelect.com is working on a report, so go check that out. Sean Ross Sapp, I believe, is working on a report. PW Insider as well. Go support them. They're the ones who broke this news. A lot to talk about, guys. If you haven't already done so, though, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever new videos release. And until next time, keep it real.